can see him.
That's okay. All right. So what I was saying is, guys, we're going through a little bit of follow up on here. So what's really good is you want to get a notebook.
Yes.
And when you do, you want to put the person's name at the top and then leave 3 spaces underneath it. 3. Sometimes we say 5.
Okay.
And then you just keep going, and then you just keep writing the person's name until you fill up this book, and then that way you have something to constantly go back. And you just remember this. If you remember this,
yes,
that it takes the average of 5 touches.
I might have you muted.
Before I'm going to mute you guys. I'm going to mute all of you guys really quickly, just so you guys can hear. Mute all. Then I'll unmute you in a minute.
There we go.
Okay. So this is why if you're not doing this, you will not be successful. I'm not saying that you can't be, but your chances of being organized is not happening. And I've really learned that since going to Building Depth. Like Lisa and I mapped out our organization. We just know we have to build a whole new right side of our organization. And it's starting with like people like Fred and Daniel and George and some of those people. George came yesterday and watched a LinkedIn training. And I'll be honest with you guys. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go over this. Hey
Ben.
Hey Ben, what's up, brother? Yeah. How are you, man? Good to see you.
Unmute him.
I'll unmute you for a second. Can you hear us, Ben? Okay. All right, cool. Hold on. Let me just unmute you real quick so you can say hello.
Yeah, I was going to introduce him anyways.
Oh, okay.
He's actually on my slide.
Oh, okay. So Ben, we'll unmute you here in a second because Lisa's going to talk about it here in a minute. Talk about you in a second. So we'll unmute you here in 1 second. All right. So what I was saying about talking about follow-up is that it's very important, guys. Guys, Lisa and I just celebrated, I don't know where she went. Lisa and I just celebrated our 8-year anniversary with LifeVantage. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. We've talked about it. I've been out in the field teaching LifeVantage Academy, and let me just tell you what it is. It's revived my thought process and a lot of things that I'm doing right now, and a lot of things that she's doing, and a lot of things that we weren't doing that we used to do, but we're not doing anymore. And then we realized why a lot of things that we were supposed to be doing, hey, Linda, we weren't doing, and now we're going back to doing them. And one thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have a notebook. If you do not have a journal notebook where you're writing your prospects' names in here, I'm going to tell you what, I will fill up half of this book tomorrow night. I'm going through all of my text messages, and there's thousands of them that I didn't follow up. So you guys just know I'm vulnerable. I go out. I always say when I'm teaching LifeVantage Academy, I ask this question at the very beginning: Is us being successful in LifeVantage a lack of opportunity or a lack of education? It's lack of education. There's opportunity all around us. It's lack of education. And then what comes with that education is action. Okay? So now I'm out teaching this stuff, and I'm like doing a self-examination of where I'm at and things that I've got to do to be successful. Because let's just be realistic. Okay? We know that this is going to happen with or without us. And, there's all this stuff that's happened with Advocare. We've talked about the last couple of weeks. A lot of my friends with Advocare are looking for companies. I've had 3 of my friends come to me this week that they want to talk sometime in June. And I've just respected that. But here's the most important thing that you have to do. You have to be intentional about everything that you do with your business. And that starts with—
They teach us the fortunes in the follow-up.
And if you write a person's name, your prospect, and then leave 5 spaces and then write another one, and you go through. Guys, there's a lot of you that have given up.
What to do with that, though? Sorry to interrupt, but write down the date.
Yeah, well, I was going to get to that. So
how you shared.
Yeah, what you shared with them, or if you gave them a sample. Decision. If you get, like Lisa and I've been giving Axio samples through LV Coaching, guys. Okay. That LV Coaching samples is a gold mine. I sent something to my cousin Tim, and he's like, I'm taking Axio the rest of my life. And I was like, okay. So let's talk a little bit more about some other options, because he's getting older. He's like, I don't make enough money. I need to, and so now I've started to get him. I started to reel him back in, And it's just like, guys, we give up on people too easy. You know, one of our newest platinum pack that Lisa and I just signed up is a lady who was in my downline, okay, in our downline, and she was back when things got terminated, and now she just re-signed up underneath us with the platinum pack because her upline completely quit, right? And so she said, Michael, I bought a notebook. I'm going to write every prospect's name in here. And guys, that's what's most important. If you want to be really successful long-term, you're going to do that. And even when you sign someone up, that way you can go back to them. Lisa and I are getting ready to help a lot of you guys out with campaigns to get customers back on the product, that I can promise you that if you implement these with your customers and people that you're doing, every time you sign up a customer, you should put them in the biohacking product and insight group. Every single time. Tell them you're going to do it. Say, look, we've created a group. It has about 500 to 600 people in it, and I want to get it to 3,000 to 5,000. That's my goal by the end of this year. And it's a group where you can constantly be educated on the product. We have a virtual assistant we're going to start putting stuff into Dropbox, and she's going to start adding stuff to that group every single day. So that's what I want to tell you guys as you go through this, okay? As you go through this, guys, take this stuff and put it into action. And like I said, Lisa and I were so excited when we learned about Axio sampling, guys. And you just heard Beth talked about hair care sampling. Guys, those two things get people reeled in to allow you to talk about the opportunity in Protandim. Guys, you have the greatest health discovery of our 21st century in your hands with the availability for you to educate other people, right? So that's what I'm saying. As you go through this process, fortune's in the follow-up. I'm going to turn it over to Lisa. I'm going to let Lisa share some things, and then I'll come back, and there's a couple things that I want to share at the end. But I hope that one thing I want to say before Lisa starts, thank you to the 15 or so plus of you guys that are on. You guys crushed me. I thought we would have 5 because of the holiday. But this like last week we had 40. I have a special guest that's going to be on next week, okay, when we do this. So I hope that you guys take value in this. And then here's what I want you to do. Take this stuff and go out and put it into action. And ask questions like Mike Weingarten and I were texting the other day. He had some questions about a person from Optavia. And guys, they all want you to try their stuff, and then they'll try your stuff. We're not in the trying stuff business, right? Lisa and I've got into that with some people, and we're just like, we're not here to Protandim is not something you try. We've already proven with the p-value that the chances of you not getting results, okay, are slim to none. So it's not a guessing game anymore. So I'll turn it back over to Lisa. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for being on.
Alrighty. Let me share the screen here. And I kind of had this here to begin with, but we sort of jumped right on in. So tonight is our leadership training call. And so, yeah, present. There we go. And so a few few announcements unofficially, because the month's not over, but in the back office. We've already got Fred and Beth at Pro 2. Yay!
They're going to be 3 or 4 by the end of the month.
Yep. They're on a roll. I have no doubt that they'll actually be able to hit Pro 3. So they're going to be able to go from 1 to 3 like that. So I'm excited for them. They're knocking it out of the park right now. You guys, I'm proud of you. We're proud of you. I want to welcome to the team. There are 2 new distributors. You guys already got to meet Destiny last week. And then Bim, he's on here right now. And I'm actually going to go ahead and stop sharing. Let him jump on. Pause share. Oops, stop share rather. And so that he can introduce himself quickly.
Ask him thumbs, okay.
And well, you already told him, so we should be good. Where is he? There he is. Unmute and video. Ask to start video. Unmute. There you are.
Bim, hold on. Let me unmute you, brother. Hold on a second. You're still muted. Unmute.
You might
Ben,
have
okay, Ben, talk a little bit, see if we can hear you.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome. We're excited to have
Yeah.
you.
Thank you guys. How you doing?
Introduce yourself and just tell people a little bit about yourself real quick.
Well, my name is Bam, and I'm a car dealer right now. So, I'm really excited about this. Mr. Fred told me about it, so I really want to try. Hopefully, I don't want to give up. I want to do it.
Good. Awesome. And for those of you guys that maybe you couldn't hear Ben, he sells cars. He retails and wholesales cars, which is kind of cool. Him and Fred have had a good relationship for a while. And so, brother, I'm grateful. I'm excited to work with you. I know you had the opportunity to meet my wife and stuff, and I just want you to know that we're here for you at any time. Educate yourself. Treat it like a business. Treat it just like you do when you sell people a car, because the value that you have of being a part of LifeVantage is a blessing from above, and we've been gifted with an opportunity to literally transform lives. So I'm honored that you're a part of our team, and I'm grateful that we get the chance to do life and do business together. So welcome to LifeVantage.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Mute.
There you go.
Stop video. Back to share. All righty. Whoops, I think I went one too far. For those of you who might remember, last year it was actually when LifeVantage was giving away the OGIO travel suitcases. They're like the big, huge, rolling, branded LifeVantage duffel bags. And we put a challenge out there to people for the first person to hit Pro 5 that they were going to get it. Well, guess what? That bag, that challenge for our team is out there again. So the first person who can hit Pro 5 and maintain it for 2 months, we're going to give you that branded LFVN OGIO travel suitcase. How cool is that to be able to go rolling through the airports with a bag that says LifeVantage on there?
It's a great bag,
about
too.
Opening the door for, possibilities of opportunities when people are saying, well, what's LifeVantage and what's that and everything. Oops, I just missed that. So leave me alone. He makes fun of me sometimes. I guess that's why we're a team, right? Because I get to make fun of him too. So
Peter Pan.
shut up.
Peter Pan.
Building depth coming up really, really quick in St. George, Utah, June 7th and 8th. The LifeVantage LVA is June 15th.
Oh. And
guess who's going to be teaching in Ohio?
Oh, yeah, guys. If you are within 4 to 5 hours, and we're going to be doing some meetings in Ohio. He's
actually going to be there for a week.
But guys, I'm going to be there for a week. And look, here's another real cool thing. Guys, they've extended the price for LVA or for Kansas City, Elite Academy in Kansas City to $129 for an extended period of time now. So, guys, and I don't know if you guys have noticed all the gifts, all the videos and stuff that are out on LifeVantage right now. There's a brand new Unlocking Your Potential video that's out of this world. So I don't know if you guys have seen some of the new videos and stuff. They're super, super awesome. But yeah, I know Daniel, guys, I just wanted to share one really quick thing about somebody in this group that you guys just saw, Daniel Leakey. Daniel has been praying about moving to Florida. All right. And God opened up a massive door for him to be able to move to Florida. He got a free ticket and a free hotel to go back up to close up some things with his places up in Ohio. And he's going to come to LifeVantage Academy from Newcomerstown up to Cleveland. And it'll be his first big event. And I can just promise you guys this. It's a personal enrollment of Lisa and I. Amazing man of God. Just his family is in the UK. I'm still believing that he's going to build a massive leg in the UK because the UK is growing right now exponentially in our company. We just created a new Pro 8 in the UK. So there's a lot of stuff happening over there. So I just want to say congratulations to my friend Daniel Leakey, who made a sacrifice. Now he finally gets this industry, and I believe he's in the right place at the right time, just like all of you. So.
And along the lines for the 10th anniversary for Elite Academy in Kansas, right now until then, they're doing the huge promotion where it's $50. That $50 starter kit is free. So the platinum pack, instead of being $1,250 plus taxes, because it's free shipping, it's $1,200 plus taxes. So it's a $50+ value if you think about the taxes on that $50.
Yep.
Plus, they're also giving you not only that 40%, upfront fast start for the enrollment of $400 on that $1,200 Vantage pack, but they're giving an additional $5, $10, or $15 for silver, gold, and platinum packs. So you actually will be making $415 on your new platinum pack enrollment. So they're
there's
really
there's a $2,500 gift too. They're kind of
for the top
rolling back.
enrollers
They're kind of
per
rolling
market.
back what they did in the March Madness type of thing.
Yeah.
So
kind
that's
of a
kind
repeat,
of
but it's actually outdoes the March Madness, if you ask me, because it's for every market. So Canada will have their top enroller for the $2,500. The United States will have ours. The UK. So every market.
Mexico.
So it's huge, 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 huge. And then Chris, he's going to kind of share something. So let me go ahead and stop sharing again and let Chris get on here. Chris, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. And whoops, where'd you go?
Did you knock him off? You knocked him off. Chris, are you on? You knocked him off.
How?
Because you pushed the button.
There he is. I'm going to say, I didn't think so.
Dude.
Unmute. Whoops.
I got two words for you. OH.
IO.
Buckeyes just won the Big Ten baseball tournament as the highest.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, as the highest seed ever to win the tournament as a 7 seed. So,
wow, I know the other night they lost to Minnesota, so I wasn't sure
they're
what
on
they
their
did.
way to Omaha. They came back today and beat Minnesota. They beat Minnesota, and then they beat Nebraska this afternoon. So
nice.
Yes, sir. Awesome. So, guys, I'm going to turn it over to Chris. But Chris and I were talking this week just about some things that we think will be really good for this call in the coming weeks in line. And you're going to see Chris probably leading some of these calls and stuff. And so I just told him, I said, hey, why don't you introduce it today? And then we'll just run with it. Because I think that there's more ways as we go through these calls that we're creating new leadership. Chris and I know that in 2 years, these calls should have 75, 100, 150 people, and we'll be breaking up into pods and doing just great things. So we know the ups and downs of and so Chris has came up with a really good way to encourage people and keep people motivated. So I'm going to have him share. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, what I was talking to Mike about was how we could, he's always talking about intentionality, and he was talking about accountability. So I thought it'd be a really cool idea if, and I've actually seen it on Mike's Facebook, in his Hefluence group and some other groups that I'm in. They always say, what's your wins for the week, at the end of the day, Friday. So I said, why don't we implement this into our leadership call where we actually start asking people, what were their wins? Did you sign up a customer? Did you give out samples? Did you do some follow-ups? Did you sign up some distributors? Did you help your distributors with phone calls, meetings? And then whoever could kind of put together the most impressive week, maybe by Sunday afternoon, you get Mike kind of your stats. If we can come up with kind of a sheet, Mike, to allow us to track our track it. And then what we can do is we can just send you the sheet. Then you get this tracker that shows exactly what we did. And then you can, message the person and say, hey, this person here was the greatest. And they bring them on and they just talk about their week, talk about what they did, talk about how things went, and just kind of give them like a little bit of a highlight. So I don't know if we want to do it every week, every couple of weeks, or maybe a person of the month or something like that. There's something that we haven't worked out, but this way it's going to create intentionality and it's going to create accountability. Because I'll be honest with you, and I apologize to Michael Weingarten, but I think we talked a couple of times for accountability, and we had some really good conversation. But I've just been getting crushed at work. I mean, the travel has just been insane. But I've been able to continue to go and maintain and pick up a customer. I've got a couple more things out there in the works. I've ended up getting a distributor this month. I actually have got some people that are actually adding to the order this month, which is nice, which is like picking up an extra customer. So I have been doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but it just, I haven't been able to kind of squeeze that time in with Mike. And I just feel like this might be a good way, because you know what's going to happen is everyone's going to get on this call and they're going to talk about what they did, and you're just going to be like sitting there wondering, you know, why didn't I do this? This person's got this life and they're this busy and they got this many kids. It just really puts things in perspective of how easy we can sneak this into our life. I think you're muted.
So that, yeah, guys, that's awesome. Maybe we'll do it once a month, and Chris and I will map that out this week. And guys, Chris, tell us a little bit real quickly about your new person that you've enrolled.
Is
and
he on here?
And he's not, I don't see him.
No, he's not on here. He's actually way in the middle of nowhere right now, up north in Michigan. So
yeah, that's right.
he probably has no reception.
Well, tell us a little bit about your new person.
Yeah, his name is Devin, and he's actually one of my wheel technicians. And Devin is a great guy. He's very young. He's a hustler. This kid is one of my best workers, but he actually has some people that are struggling a little bit with their health and their family. And he actually looked at this as an option. It's like, hey, maybe this is something that could really help. And then the Aaron Brockovich news broke, and it kind of just like, I don't even know what I'm waiting for. He's done a phone call with you. He's done a phone call with Jason. Yeah. He knows what I'm doing. I don't bother him at all about it. I don't continue to nag him. I follow up every now and then, ask him how things are going. He usually brings up ideas and things like, I need to become a distributor. And eventually he just ended up joining. And then right after Devin ended up joining, Lisa called me and said, where's Glasgow? Because I've got this, new customer to this PC that's over in England. And, it took some time to get him, to trust what we have, because he is one of those guys that actually has Lyme's disease, and he's been able to beat about 60% of it. And the crazy thing about him is he's been on so much medication. He's been on so many different supplements that doctors have tried to tell him to take, and it just wouldn't do anything for him. So he just was really reluctant to try anything new. And then one day he was listening to a podcast of someone he really respects in England, and they mentioned Protandim. And when they mentioned Protandim, he immediately messaged me. It was like 4 a.m. my time, because it was like 9 his time. And he says, okay, go ahead, send me the cart. I'm ready. This is what happened. And it's just crazy. He did a phone call in the morning with Wendy Hill, talking about her story about Lyme's disease and where she's at now, which really kind of put him right there. And then hearing that podcast just kind of validated it enough.
Here's a really cool.
Daniel, we could just send him a message.
I will send you this. Jenny Crane did a interview with an interview with a new doctor that just joined LifeVantage that is a Lyme and autism specialist. So I'm going to try to interview her too, to get her into Biohacking Product and Insight Group. So what I think I'm going to do is once a week, I'm going to try to go live in the Biohacking and Product and Insight Group and interview somebody new each week.
Perfect.
To build up that. Just like you told Q that he needs to do that. So we need to get him on the ball with doing that, because one of the new ladies, and her name is slipping my mind. She's a new Pro 7 out in California. She has taken her Biohacking Product and Insight Group up to 2,600 people.
Wow.
I mean, that's how you generate continued leads and things like that. So can you get out? Yes, I'll give you guys all that recording. Rich Scott sent it to me. I just got to find it on my phone. I'll get that for you. But Chris and I will iron out those details, and we'll talk to you guys about it in the next week or so.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for
Thank you.
Man. Yep.
Always rock as usual, Chris.
Yes, appreciate that.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you both.
Well, it's really funny that Chris brought up talking about accountability, because I know that was one of the things that I encouraged Lisa that we needed to talk about. And there's a lot of you guys on this call whose accountability partners need you. And if there's one thing that Fred and I do, is we go all out on our own to try to talk every single week. Okay. And one of the things I think that has made a difference for us is that encourages each one of us to change the course of action that we've been doing. Like Lisa's best friend, Julia, and Wendy. Julia said to me, I need to be more accountable. Guys, you can be on this call and listen to all these things that you do and never take any action and just be, it's like just being a spectator, right? But you really never do anything to take any action about learning about something that you're going to. It's like going to the baseball game and you're just like, you're on your phone the whole time, right? It's just like putting in time. And so I want to encourage you guys, if your name is on this list and you have an accountability partner, guys,
I was going to see if maybe Destiny and Ben might want to try to do that. And the next slide kind of goes over what accountability is. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, guys, and
yeah,
I just said this to Lisa, woman to woman, men to men, if we can all.
Well, yeah, let's see, Beth, because Fred was kind of doing it. So maybe Beth and Destiny can be accountability partners.
Yeah, and I'll find one for
yeah.
them. I'll
if you're interested, you guys let us know.
Yeah, and so there's new people on here. And guys, reach out to your accountability partner this week. I know a lot of you guys are on here. A lot of you guys need to encourage your accountability partner. Like Lisa's is on here right now. I see Andrea and Tracy, Chris and Mike are on. Wendy, I'm not sure. I thought I saw Wendy on there. So be accountable. George, like George Zanisco came to our house yesterday and did a LinkedIn, like I said, LinkedIn course with us. And guys, you can get hundreds and hundreds of leads for LinkedIn. Guys, remember what people are looking for in LinkedIn. Businesses and jobs. Okay? Businesses and jobs. Opportunities and jobs. One of the things that Jimmy teaches later on in the course that he told me, he teaches a lot of people that are in network marketing how they put "we're hiring" in the subject title or on their profile title, and people ask them, and then they just take them. They say, "Hey, look, here's where we are. We partnered with a publicly traded company, and we're looking for business partners. And when can you look at the information? I want to. We're having a webinar, and I'll tell you guys more about this in the coming weeks. My friend Bob McIntosh, and I want to share with this you guys because this is how important follow-up is. Okay. My friend Bob McIntosh, who just came and spent 2 days with Lisa and I to help us with our Hefluence business, is that we were at where we're going to be next week in Vegas 2 years ago, and Bob pulled out a stick of Axio. And I looked at Lisa and I was like, oh, crap. And I was like, Bob, where'd you get that Axio? He said, oh, I just signed up in LifeVantage 2 weeks ago. I was like, well, dropped the ball on that one.
Yep.
And now Bob is creating a webinar that's going to repopulate with people that'll get people to look at a 15-minute webinar that him and I are going to do some stuff with. It'll probably be about 20 minutes because we're going to put 2.5-minute testimonies on there. And that's another thing I want you guys to do. Be real careful every time you post a testimony. That's why they downgraded Avocare, because people were making claims to a direct sales company. Guys, can you imagine? I had friends of mine who was making $250,000 to $300,000 a year, and their checks are gone. Like, gone.
Remember, we're allowed to say we decrease oxidative stress 40% in 30 days in every mammal, 100% of the time. And we are allowed to say, according to the NIH, National Institute of Aging, we can extend life and delay disease.
But here's another thing that we can say. As long as we say, I'm not saying that we treated, prevented, or cured, or mitigated disease. If you say that every single time, even if you share your story, you're covered.
Exactly.
Because you're like, if you say, hey, look, I took this NRF2 activator, and I extended my telomeres by 10 years, which I did. Then I can say, I'm just letting you know, I'm not saying that this treated or prevented or cured any disease. All I'm saying is this is what I took and this is what happened.
Yep.
Then you're completely covered because you're not saying that treated. So
cool. And so on the accountability calls, and Chris already started to mention this, you want to review who you're meeting with, your upcoming quote presentations, review your follow-ups with your accountability partner. Chris mentioned wins and losses, or, roses and thorns type of a deal. things you're struggling with, things that you feel you are doing well. And then your personal development action item. You know, what are you doing to take yourself personally outside of the network marketing to just better yourself? What are you learning and growing on? You know, what area are you working on? So I'm going to skip this because we kind of did this part about the presentations and telling stories and everything. What I did want to review is, you know, when it comes to the company story, there's so much we can talk about with our company. Don't get lost in all of that when you're doing a presentation. Pick your top 3 things. You know, what hits you the most, or the ones that would relate to your potential customer or client. You know, you can say we got our start in 2003 as a research and development company, and ABC Primetime Investigative Report, you know, came into the company knocking on the doors because of these wacky claims in 2009, and they ended up validating. Or, you know, just picks,
but
you
honey,
know, a few
this
things
is,
out of this.
but this is when you're actually, after you've done the, this is
you as the advisor.
This is when you've already sat down with the person and you're going through, you know, maybe you've done a 3-way phone call with them. You know, guys, you know what this really is? This is exactly what this is. The 5 skill sets, guys.
Yeah.
This is overcoming obstacles right here. This is how you overcome obstacles. And that's why it's super, super important that you use a very small amount of things, like Lisa said, to overcome these obstacles, so you're not overwhelming the person. Because like, we were at a party tonight, and everybody kept asking me, you know, how do you look so young? And what are you guys doing? And Lisa's 51 and you're, what are you doing? Right? And so I don't overwhelm them. I say, you know, I partner with a publicly traded company that's at the forefront of a new technology that has allowed me to take 10 years off my telomeres. And the lady said, huh? How's that possible? I say, well, extended them by 10 years.
Oh, it was
and
crazy that she knew what the heck telomeres works.
Yeah, because she works, because you know what? She actually works in the ophthalmology arena with Dr. Chad Luxembourg. And she said he used to be her biggest referral doctor.
Yep.
So you never know what you're going to say. And she's like, she even said, she goes, wow, it's almost like you dangled the carrot out in front of me. Now I want to know what the rest of this is about. And I didn't tell her.
Right. What's the rest of the story?
Yeah.
So I did put down on here, you know, patents that set us apart, things that set us apart for our company. Ground floor, our timing sets us apart. Customers pay the same as distributors for products. That's huge. That sets us apart.
And that's all on the tear-off sheet, guys. So that's all Lisa's doing, is walking you through the tear-off sheet.
Exactly. So, you know, you don't need to be overwhelmed with knowing every little detail. Because remember, if you're presenting to somebody, you know more than they do right off the bat.
Yeah, and that's all, you guys, that's all what Lisa is saying is all right here on the tear-off sheet. And if you guys, if you do not have, I'm going to try to
it's a file in Freedom Fighters.
Oh yeah, go on the Freedom Fighters. You can get this book right here.
No, not the book, but the tear-off sheet.
We're gonna get this downloaded. I talked to Marcel about it on the way home.
Cool.
So
that, you know, when it comes to the company story, don't go overboard. Just like your own story, you don't need to go overboard. Just know a few things, you know, and then you talk about how to get paid. We've got quite a few different ways we get paid to make money, right? Pick your top 3 favorites and talk about them. You know, I mean, I didn't go through every little thing. Unless the person wants to start to learn more information, then you go into that.
And it's, guys, and the reason Lisa puts this up here is because this is what she's doing now. She's using this on the tear-off sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're excited about this and you want to know more about what's going on in the tear-off sheet, you know what's really cool is it has a section for notes.
Yep.
So when Lisa's done with this presentation,
they write their notes. I give it to them.
She rips it off, or they've already have it.
They've got it.
And she gives it to them to take with them.
Exactly. People love things to take home. So, you know, how to get paid. Just pick your top 3 favorites on there. The Smart Start bonus, 40% off their initial order. That's a monthly pay, you know, or a payoff. The royalty bonus, the launch bonuses that are going on.
Yeah.
The generational matching bonuses, paying, you know, 10% on personals and 5% on all of theirs. The elite bonus pool. That's something that sets us apart.
So let's ask you guys a question, and you guys can type this. Do me a favor. Type this down in the chat box. What do you guys think is the #1 most important thing when relaying a message to somebody about opportunity. It's you want me to tell you what it is? And I wrote this on here just to mess with these. I wrote Peter Pan on the back of the thing. Is these 3 words. ROI. Okay?
I messed that up. That's actually weekly.
We return. Don't do it now. Do it now. Return on your investment, and here's why.
It's okay. There.
So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to always let them know how they can get their money back, and that's signing up 3 people. Okay, signing up 3 people gets them their money back, and that should be your goal within the first 30 to 60 to 90 days.
30 days.
Well, but if you don't attain it, you can't just let them go. A lot of people let them go, and then they don't keep them motivated.
Mm-hmm.
So your goal is to do the Pacesetter program. If you want them to get a massive return on their investment, which is the best program that we have, is the Pacesetter program. It's a 90-day program. That's why I always say 90 days, right?
Yep.
90 days. Because if you make an extra $700 on top of your enrollments, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And now they've added more. So you get $200 your first month if you make Pro 2. So if you enroll 2 people, right? You plus your one, plus you.
Times 3 is $1,245 plus 700. That's a total of $1,945.
$1,945 you make in your first month because of because of this Pacesetter program.
Yep, that
Guys,
with the
come
additional
on.
$15.
You're already got your money back because of the Pacesetter program. So you make it to Pro. Your goal, number 1 goal, should be always make it to Pro 2 your first month, and then you maintain it, and then you make the Pro 3 in your 3rd month, and you've got that extra $700.
Exactly.
And you've got a massive return on your investment. Simple.
Way cool.
Totally.
2 to 5 year commitment. Obviously, we're not a get rich quick, thing. And for me, what we've come to discover is a lot of the times, most of the times, it's that personal development part of it that slows people down, not able to handle the no's, taking it personally, things like that. So when we start to overcome some of those personal obstacles as well, that's when things really start to pick up and momentum starts to happen personally in your own business, but then as a team and as an organization, as a company. And so
totally. And that's one of the things that Lisa and I have always said is that, I get it that they say committed for 2 to 5 years, but guys, unless the big man upstairs tells you to do something different or brings you something else that can give you a better benefit in your health, which we haven't seen in 8 years.
Right.
Why is it a 2 to 5 year commitment? Why aren't you committed to life? This is the system that we teach, but like Lisa and I are on our second 2 to 5 years. We did a 2 to 5 year and we did really well, and we had people get distracted, and now we're going to go build a whole new team. It's already happening.
Yep.
And we're going to her and I are going to go enroll another 25 to 30 people between now and Long Beach. So that's what you guys should be doing. You should be constantly following up and feeding people. And that's why I think this is super important.
It's simple, but it's not easy. Sometimes sometimes the rejection isn't easy. Sometimes the obstacles aren't easy. People say no, but a lot of times no is not now. Remember how many touches it takes for the average person to end up joining. 5 touches. So. Okay.
So guys, just always remember that as you go through this is the plan. Here's one of the things that I taught our new distributor, okay, is that you can't do this like traditional business. This is not a traditional business. You can't give your website to people. You can't, if at all costs, the number one thing you do when somebody wants to sign up is, yes, we send them a cart, but if at all possible, we should always enroll them with them if we can, because people get busy, people get, they get to the point to where they push it aside, and then they go back, and then you're like, well, hey, I just forgot, right? And so, she wants to be your accountability partner. So, and that's okay. That might can work too, because it's good. So, and look, even if you're on the phone with the person, okay, it's okay for you to walk it through, signing them up if you can. That way you take no chance. Guys, you know what's really cool about this business is I call it Friday mailbox money. Lisa and I were traveling last week, and I got a check for $86. Guys, do you know how many meals I myself, when I'm by myself, I can get 3, almost 4 meals out of that when I'm traveling. And seriously, 3, okay? If it's breakfast, it's 4, because it's usually $17 plus tip. I give them 20 some dollars. So that's, 4 meals, right? So guys, you have the availability now. Once you start enrolling people and you get to a certain point where you're now creating little bitty gains, and then it just becomes bigger gains. And so let's do this. Does anybody have any questions or comments about what they've kind of shared? Are you okay with this? What Lisa's kind of shared and what I've kind of shared? Maybe a comment or a question that you guys have had, or something that you've seen that maybe you want to share. Just unmute yourself and then just go ahead. Does anybody?
You can mention the emails, for our new distributors that I automatically send out.
Oh, yes.
Training.
Lisa sends out to all the new distributors the Google Drive information. Guys, I think what I'm going to do next week, I talked to him about it tonight. We're going to talk this week, is Evan made a freaking website for distributors with all the videos in it that you can ask Lisa. It's unbelievable. I can't believe he did all that. I'm like, bro, and guys, just remember, whenever you have a prospect, you should 100% of the time send them the Tyler Daniels video on which package to choose. Because Paula, our new distributor, was going to enroll with the gold pack. She watched the video and signed up with a platinum pack. And guys, let me just tell you something. If you send it to them through the LV coaching app, it'll tell you how long they watched the video. It tells you they watched it for 3 minutes and 50 seconds, right? And then you'll know, usually at about 4.5 to 5 minutes, Tyler's explained to them why they should purchase a platinum pack and the benefits of doing that.
As well as he's got an amazing video that explains why 100 versus 200 PV.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Powerful.
That's hugely powerful. Okay, so any questions or comments, anybody? Guys, this is an interactive leadership call. So if you have questions or comments or stuff that maybe you want to comment or ask a question, just unmute yourself and do it. Anybody? Question or comment? Don't be shy, guys. Sunday. Anybody have a question? You guys are all smart enough to make Pro 10 now, right? I believe it. I believe in you. Lisa and I believe in you. Anybody with a comment or a question? You have anything?
Yep.
Michael.
Yes, sir. Frederick, go ahead.
I don't think this relates to what you suggested we ask about, but Beth Beth could have sold at least 4 to 5 hair care products, but they're not in Italy yet. They're not in the UK yet. They're not in Canada. They're not in Hong Kong.
They just launched in Canada.
Yeah, yes, Hong Kong and Taiwan.
Yeah, she did get. I'm sorry, she did get a sale in Canada, but 4 or 5 countries she could have sold in the last couple of days. No sale.
Well, here's a real cool thing about that. There's a workaround that I'm telling you that you go back and you share the products that's with them and let them know that those products are coming.
That's
Fred, that's the type of question you guys should be asking right there, because there's wisdom in numbers, guys. There's wisdom of why we do this. Look, people say all the time to me, Mike, why are you doing these calls? Why are you working so hard? Because I want you guys to succeed, guys. We're not here. Guys, you know what's really cool? When I taught LifeVantage Academy in Fairfield, California, 2 months ago, Michelle Scaff missed it, and all of her team told her how good it was, and she's going to thrive with us next week. And she canceled a trip to New York to go with us. You know why? Because she wants to be around different people. She wants to grow and learn and just be around people. If you guys want to connect with more people, the success that you will have will be from your book. I love this book that Lisa got me. Always grateful every day, thankful, forever blessed. If I fill this out, guess what? I'm going to always be grateful every day, thankful, forever blessed. And so thanks for asking that question, Fred. That's a good question. All right, Destiny, unmute yourself. Did you unmute yourself? Hold on. Destiny, unmute yourself. Lou. All right, you're unmuted. Go. Destiny, you're unmuted. Talk. Hello? What happened to her? All right. She just said she wanted to ask a question, and I don't know what happened to her. All right.
This is Linda. I have a comment about.
Okay, go ahead, Linda.
We met at a coffee shop. It was the distributors were Chris Goodrow and Jerry Jacobs and me, and I think we had 3 guests, and it was a really good presentation. All the distributors participated, and the guests were very attentive, and we're following up with them. So
Awesome.
it was
Congratulations. Guys, and that's what's important, what Linda just said. Because here's the thing. Here's the most important thing that you have to do with people. Guys, you have to ask them to join. Hey, look, you heard if you guys want to watch the best video on closing, and if you follow it, you'll close 80% more of your people, whether it's on the 3rd follow-up, the 4th, or the 5th. We know that most of them sign up on the 5th, but it's asking them to join. Say, hey, guys, you see we have all these things, right? Compensation, plan. You guys ready to get started? Let's do this together. Show them how excited. Make it about them. The number one thing that's getting me feedback out in LVA is the us versus them, the influence over persuasion. If you guys are not doing that, your business is slowing down. Make it about them. Destiny, I know you're there now. You want to ask? I can.
Okay.
I don't know. What happened?
I'm not sure. I think I was using a Bluetooth speaker to make it louder, and y'all couldn't hear me. So my question was for new distributors, the first step. So you're signing somebody up, which I'm not there yet, but if we were, the first place we should go is the LV coaching and follow the roadmap. Would that be the first step you would suggest?
Yeah.
That goes through everything with the commitment letter and everything?
Yes, it goes through the
Perfect.
blueprint, the whole walkthrough and everything. And what's great about that, and then Destiny, what you want to do is you want them tell them to get it, bring a notebook when you do this, and
Okay.
have them write their first 100 names in this book with 5 spaces.
Okay.
Right, guys, that's the first thing you should do. First 2 things you should do after what Destiny just said is you want them to write 100 names with 5 spaces in their book, and then you want them to meet people on the team. You tell them about the Sunday night call, and then you introduce it. You give them. They'll get an email from Lisa with all of the Google Drive stuff, which Destiny can tell you is golden. Everything is in there that you need. And then what you really want to do is you just want them to get going. Get them to start making phone calls. And one of the really cool things to do that with is when you're with them. Get them to start making phone calls right there because hey, look, guys, do me a favor. Go back and watch Sherry's videos on the Building Depth Facebook group. The invite, the follow-up, and the close. And she even has one with resolving concerns. Guys, there's a reason why she wins every contest, why she qualified for Ireland. She'll probably win the $2,500. You know,
Yep.
she already qualified for the influencer program. Guys, I think we're really close to, if Fred gets to Pro 3, I think we make the influencer thing because we've created enough distributors and stuff this year. So
Yeah.
guys,
And just like when I was out there in Atlanta, like sitting in that little office and you just started bringing people in, so to speak, we can do that virtually as well as
that's what Zoom is great for.
live. Just pick a 2-hour window or 3-hour window or whatever that you want to like quote expose to other people, you know, on calls or whatever. And, you know, myself or my husband or somebody from the team will be available for you with the Zoom link and just, you know.
And here's another thing about,
you guys can do it so quickly.
here's another thing that Lisa and I've kind of found out. Guys, you don't need to if you don't know our story, I'm going to finish with this. And then if there's anybody else has a question, guys, if you don't know our story, let me just, a lot of you are on here do not know our story. And so I'm going to tell you just really quickly what happened. Daniel Bernard and I were friends for years. We've sowed money into his ministry. And I want you guys to learn from this, guys. Daniel did not send me the information. I said, Daniel, and you guys are going to see I made a really funny slide presentation for our building depth presentation with Daniel. He's like, I said, just send me the information. And you know what he said? No, I'm not doing that. Guys, you guys are all doing that. You're sending people the information. Stop doing that. You're ruining and destroying your network, right? Don't do that. Build a relationship with them. Sit down with them. Then you can share the video with them and get them on a 3-way phone call, okay? You don't have to share the video with them first. We always thought that was the best way to do it, but you learn and you grow. You still want to share the video, but that may be after a 3-way phone call. That may be getting them excited. Guys, I'm going to tell you what I did this. Let me finish with our story, and then I'm going to finish with one other thing that I feel you guys need to hear. So please stay with me just 5 more minutes, okay? So Daniel said to me, look, you're either going to hear this the way I heard, or you're not going to. And I was like, Daniel, I'm too busy. I can't do this. Just send me the information. So almost every Friday for 6 months, he called me and said, hey, bro, you ready to watch the video? I'm like, no, just send me. Daniel, I'm busy. And we'd go into talking about something else. I was like, is this guy weird or something? Like, he's not going to send me the information? How bad does he want me to look at it? And little did I know, I was being stupid, right? And so then he tricked me into going to dinner with my wife, right? And he knows I like sushi, so he said, let's go to Chopsticks, right? So I went to Chopsticks, got there. He had a pair of headphones and a laptop an iPad set up. And he's like, you're sitting right here. And then we listened, and this is what he said. When we were done, he said, look, I know you're going to have questions, but I'm not going to answer them for you. And I was like, okay, who's going to answer them? He said, this guy, Brandon Cunningham. I was like, who's Brandon Cunningham? He's like, oh, he's a Pro 6 in the company. Guys, do this the right way and follow up, and you'll be successful. In 3 to 5 years, you'll never remember not being successful and getting people to sign up. Last thing, my friend Julie White, who you guys have, I've had her on these calls. She's a Pro 7. She lost. Oh, yeah, Daniel. See, look at Daniel said, we got him over sushi too, right? His system works, right? Yeah, so we took Daniel for sushi. But here's our bill was a little bit better than. I think I think he paid that night. And I think, like I said, the only things that's really good is when you can really build relationships. And that night with Lisa and I still talk about that night when we were with Daniel, just because of the relationship we got to build with him and how cool it was to know his background and his heritage and being from England and just the stuff that he does. But let me just tell you about this last call with Julie the other night. So Julie says, hey, Mike, I got a friend of mine that lives in Wesley Chapel, which is about 30 minutes away from Lisa and I. She goes, she works for the school board for Pasco County Schools. She's super busy. Her husband's a basketball coach. And here's how this went down, guys. I'm just gonna lay it on the line for you guys. This is massively important for you guys to listen. So don't go. Listen to this last piece really intently, okay? So she introduced me. She introduced her friend. Anita was her name. And so I said, Anita, what are some 2 or 3 things, because she said she had 10 minutes. So I wanted to value her 10 minutes. So I saw when I started and what time we were going to be done. 10 minutes, right? Watch the clock, 10 minutes. I said, what are 3 things that you're reserved and about? And then I wrote them down. Number 1, she said she was a ingredient snob. So I wrote down ingredient snob. Then she said that, the price of the products. And then number 3 is she said time. Okay. So she said she was a snob. She didn't like the price and the time. And the price was about the hair care. So here's what I said to her. I started off, I said, you know what? It's okay to be a snob about the ingredients. Guys, guess what I used on her? Feel, felt, found. And guess what? I was honest about it. You can be honest about it using that every single time. I said, you know what, Anita? I know how you feel. I felt the same way. But here's what I found out. And I used it every single time. And I said, it's okay to be a snob about the ingredients. I said, in the next couple weeks, if you need that, or the next couple days, I'm going to answer every single question that you have about the products. She said, really? I said, yeah. I said, and you know what about the price? I said, here's what I did with my hairdresser. There's an app called Think Dirty. I said, Juanita, do you have a pencil? And she said, yes. I said, write down Think Dirty. And the stuff that you're using right now that you spend $30 a month for, go to this app and add it in and see what it's doing to your hair. I said, ours are a 0, a 1, and a 2. Okay. And I said, my hairdresser, the average product in her, 0 is good, 10 is bad. Hers was an average of 7 and above. Some of hers, tea tree flipping hair gel that I've been using for years was an 8. And you know what she said? She said, well, what about the price? I said, look, my hair care system is $110, right? And it lasts me 3 months. She went, really? I said, yeah. Do you wash your hair every day? She said, no. I said, then guess what? I do. And it still lasts me 3 months. Because I said, I'm kind of a snob. So I used back on her own words with her, right? And then she said, well, what about the time? I said, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. I said, but you know what? I learned that once I knew what I know now, I had a moral obligation. I said, and here's what I was doing. I was working 65 hours a week. I was an overseer at my church for 50-some families. I was married within a year, and I was working out 8 to 10 hours a week. She goes, how did you do it? I said, I felt like I had a moral, and she was a believer. I said, I felt like I had a moral responsibility to do it because I wasn't going to let my wife down. And guess what? Now my wife is retired, and I get to do business with my wife. I looked at the clock, and there was 30 seconds left. I said, Juanita, our time is up. I value your time. She goes, oh, we get a little bit more time. I said, look, you said you had 10 minutes. I said, have I answered all your questions? She said, 100%, right? And I said, okay, if you need anything, I'm going to have Julie start a text message with you and me and a Facebook message. That way, if you can't reach me on one, you can reach me on the other. But you're the type of person that we want to do business with. I believe that you know what you need to do, but if you have any questions or you need anything, just let me know. Julie texted me afterwards and she said, Michael, you are freaking incredible. I can't believe the way you did that. I said, Julie, I just followed the system that only 10% of us do. Only 10% of you followed that system that I just did. And guys, it's not hard to do. We just want to do it our own way.
We have to complicate things.
We got to get out of the way and do it the right way. And she said, I said, what did Anita said? She said, you blew her away. Like, she's like, he answered all my questions, made me feel comfortable. Gosh, she goes, you get to do business with people like that? And Julie said, yeah, all the time. So guys, just be super encouraged. Like, had I done things like this myself and not wanted this more for people than they wanted it for themselves in the beginning, Lisa and I would be a lot farther along. And had we been doing this together, we'd be a lot farther along. We know that now. We're not looking back. Starting tomorrow's a holiday. We're going to go have some fun, and then we're going to come home, and we're going to go to work, guys. We're going to go to work, and I challenge you guys to do the same thing. I don't care if I'm on vacation or at a party. We made 5 prospects at the party. 3 sets of husbands and wife and another guy that I got his number. Simple. Guess where I'm going to put them? Put them in my book tomorrow. Okay? And they were all at my friend's party. And then I'm going to tell him that he better sign up because he's already a customer with a Vitality Stack. I'm going to say, if you don't sign up, I'm going to sign all these people up and you're not going to get the benefit from them. Okay? So guys, I hope this encouraged you guys tonight. Super encouraged me. Lisa,
You know where else you're gonna put him, Mike?
what's that, Chris?
You know where else you're gonna put him?
Where? Under you?
Under me.
Okay. If you weren't on my 9th level, or 8th level or whatever it is, I would do that. But so guys, I'm super encouraged. I hope this encouraged you guys. It's been an hour, and I love you guys. We look forward to these calls every single Sunday. Guys, go love on people. Go love on people. Follow the system. And guys, let's finish the last week of this month with some massive action. Follow up and massive action. I love you guys. You guys are some of the most incredible people that breathe. And I'm honored that every single day we do life with people like you. So guys, have a great day. Have a great night. Have a great Chris. Have a great Memorial Day, guys.